Hey there, it's Michael with Yellowstone County News, and today I'm going to be showing you, this is going to be the first part of probably a multi-part series on how to use the FullCourt enterprise system to search for court documents and court filings and that type of thing. So the very first step that you'll need to take is to check your email and see if you have something from Charles Taylor, and the subject would be FullCourt Enterprise Access. If you do, that's great. In the body of that email, there will be a link. It's going to be something like F5FC. You see here where I'm showing my cursor at. Just click on that, and it should open your Google Chrome web browser. And so here we are. If you haven't gotten a temporary password from the state yet, you'll need to call. Let me go back to my email here. You'll need to call this guy, Charles Taylor, and get that from him. But anyway, so we'll start here. You'll type in your user ID and password. And then this is kind of an important part for court. You want to make sure that you hit the drop-down button and you have Yellowstone District Court selected. Otherwise, it won't log you in because it'll think you're trying to go to the wrong court. Okay, and so here we have the Yellowstone County District Court FullCourt Enterprise program. Now, there's a couple things about this program that are important to note before we get too far, and that is, number one, you cannot use your browser's back arrow or forward arrow or anything like that, or the refresh. You have to stay within this kind of box that the program is in. Otherwise, it'll yell at you. And the other thing is, well, I just forgot. I think that was kind of the only thing important note first. Anyway, so let's start with searching for something. Say you're looking for some specific case or specific document. You'll come over above where it says your name and hit searches. And then there's a couple different ways you can search. Usually, I've found the best way is to come to this last one and hit party search. And then, for example, say you were looking for that lawsuit that Gene Gerusi had against the county and the county commissioners for Metro Park. Whenever I was looking for that, I would type in his last name and then his first name, hit search, and then down here you'll have your search results. Now, in this case, it was kind of difficult at first to figure out which Gene Gerusi it was, but it ended up being this one. Anyway, you click on the person's name, and this is kind of neat. What it does is it will show you, whoops, it doesn't really show any of their details other than the name, for privacy reasons, I'm sure. But if you come over under party detail, where it says history, that's where you'll find any cases that have been filed that have their name attached to it. So here's Gene R. Gerusi versus Oakview Group, and here's the one versus Yellowstone County. Now, if you click on the case number or the name of the case right here, it brings up a whole slew of things. You can see the judge, the subtype of the case, where it's physically located, if you ever needed to know that, jurisdiction, comments. Apparently there's a comment here about this particular case. Now, to find the documents that have been filed with the court, you'll come over to the left side of your screen under Civil Case and come down to Document Management. And it should bring up in date order all of the things that have been filed. Now, this is just a list of the documents. If you'd like to view that particular document, you'll come over kind of toward the right-hand side where it says Public. You'll click the word Public, and it seems like it does something and then it goes away. But what it does is it downloads the document to your computer. So I clicked on it, and in Google Chrome, all your downloads pop up at the bottom of the screen down here. If you have a whole bunch of downloads and you can't see one that you want to see, just hit Show All, and it'll open a new tab for you with all of your downloads. And so then you can click on Complaint 5 is what it called it. And there you go. There's the whole document. You can print it. You can download it. Again, kind of whatever you'd like to do with it. Now, here's an opportunity to show you what happens if you don't navigate it correctly. So if I was to use the Chrome back button, it wouldn't actually go back. See, it just keeps reloading the same page. Sometimes if you hit the back arrow, it'll say you cannot use that Well, what you have to do is up here, right above this red line, these are all hot buttons up here, and this is what they call a breadcrumb trail. So right now we're at Documents, the Documents section of this case. If you'd like to go back to, let me think here. If you want to go back to the case overview, click here on the case number, it'll bring you back here. If you want to see all the results for Ginar Jarousi again, click his name. And then if you go back one more, it goes back to here, and you can search for another person or whatever. Now, let's go back to the home page. This one here, I'm not sure. This is the same thing. It's a party search. I don't know why they have two buttons for it. If you'd like to look at judgments that have occurred recently, that's what this is for. This button, you can hit Judgement Order Index search. And you can search by a name or a date of birth or something like that. Or if you want to just see a list of all the judgments that have been entered into the book for a certain time period, just come down here where it says order date, and we'll just say January 2nd through, and by the way, I'm clicking on this little calendar icon to get that, or you could manually type it in also. We'll go January 2nd through February 6th. Oops. And then you'll come down a little bit to search. And there you go. Voila. So again, it should be in date order, ascending. So you'll see 2/6 is where it starts, and it goes all the way down to 130. And then if you want to go to the next page of results, you'll have to click the arrow right here. And you can go to the end of the list with this other arrow that's got a line in front of it.